guys. I'm so excited to join you from my new studio. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I have a pretty bare office. I just moved last week. So I will be teaching full time at Indiana University at the Kelley School of Business, which is super exciting. I studied there. I got my MBA there many, many years ago, and it's very nice to return back to what feels like home. And so my family journeyed just a little over an hour south, but very different, more inclusive climate. So feeling very good about that. And I'm excited to announce our new book. My new book, We Want You, an allyship guide for people with power, is coming out August 8th to celebrate International Allyship Day. And so we're going to do a mini-sode series. The book has 3 sections, 9 chapters. And so we're going to go chapter by chapter on quick lessons that you can pick up, maybe to reinforce what you've learned from the book or to share with an ally that likes to consume content in audio format or reinforce what you're already learning. And so we hope that you'll join us. We're going to make these episodes super short, 10 minutes or less, so you can get a little knowledge on your way to the grocery store or on a walk or your drive to work. So hopefully that fits most of your commute times. And we'll go chapter by chapter over the coming weeks. So over the next 9 weeks, you'll get a steady drip of We Want You, an allyship guide for people with power content. And just to give you a little preview, a little excitement in the weeks to come, the first section is about individual actions. And so I wrote this book really to figure out what is missing with dominant group individuals. Why is it continually women, people of color, folks with disabilities, LGBTQ plus folks? Why is it continuing us talking to a vacuum to each other? And so what I found out is there's a lot of fear that we had assumed people were on board, but they're still processing some trepidation, some real fears, everything from irrelevance to status threat to all risk, no reward. And then the second chapter is on power and really how power, we often don't know the power that we have until we realize it as an ally. And so, how to discover your sources of power, where your power lies, and more importantly, how you can channel that power for good. Power is a good thing, it's how we use it that matters. And then the last piece of the individual bundle is really on the WIFM. What's in it for me? What are the benefits to allyship? And probably the most compelling information is found from Harvard in their longitudinal longest study on happiness. And they found that relationships are the #1 predictor of happiness and longevity in life. So what a better way to practice relationships than through the art of allyship? And then the second section is about team action. So we talk about psychological safety and specifically paired with perspective taking. There's some great data out of MIT Sloan that found that when those two tools are paired together, they're far more impactful. We talk about storytelling and how to tell your story and how to engage others in story sharing. That's one of our most powerful tools as allies. And also the allyship roles. And so, what kind of role do you want to play, and help you map out your plan from what your vision is to the people you want to work with as mentors, sponsors, advocates, coaches, challengers. There's an umbrella approach to that. And then the last section of the book is really about organizational, more systemic, less sexy types of actions, but the real true important ones. And so, how do we do inclusive policies? What policies do we need to look at? Policies are a way of dictating our culture, kind of the scripts of what's acceptable and not. We talk about pipeline development, proactive pipeline development. Pipelines are very, very diverse. And so, as we have baby boomers retiring, how do you get more proactive in engaging diverse talent earlier on and starting this conversation much, much earlier? So I'm so excited for you to be a part of this journey with us. Be sure to subscribe so you get the latest episodes for this next 9 weeks, these mini-sodes. I'll keep them coming if you keep coming back. Thank you, listeners. You can find out all the information for the new book at nextpivotpoint.com. We have a free downloadable workbook to accompany it. It's great for a book club discussion or your next employee resource group or diversity, equity, and inclusion event. See you back next week.